Well, hello guys, it is that time once again for another edition of Odds and Ends. Where I read you some really weird news stories from all over the world, and hey, they don't call it Odds and Ends for a reason, you know? Now, I apologize for this being very, very late, kind of like a last minute ordeal though, but as long as I have my source right here, and I'm not talking about my treasure box or what's down below the treasure box, as long as I have my source, as long as I have this, and I'm ready if you guys are ready, and so yeah, let's get this over with, shall we? So, our first story comes out of France, where a woman in southwest France received a telephone bill for more than 15 quadrillion dollars, but the phone company refused to admit its mistake, offering instead to take the woman's money in installments. Celine San Jose, or Jos, from Pessac in Bordeaux, requested her account be closed after losing her job as a teaching assistant last month. Bouygues Telecom sent her final bill, which according to the paperwork totaled, I'm not even going to say it. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do this, and then I'm just going to put a number right here so you guys have a general idea as to how much it is, because I don't know the actual value or how to pronounce it. So, yeah, that much. Euros. San Jose told reporters she, quote, almost had a heart attack. There were so many zeros I couldn't even work out how much it was. See what I mean? Despite the fact that the bills amounted to some 6,000 times France's entire annual income output, Bouygues initially told her there was nothing they could do to fix the computer-generated statement. San Jose said the company reps she talked to threatened to withdraw the money directly from her bank account. Later, after, quote, a series of frantic phone calls, the company offered to set up an installment plan so San Jose could pay off the bill. Eventually, the phone company admitted the customer only owed them 117.21 euros. That amount was waived after some prodding from the local media. How often does a phone company get your billing wrong, and so that they end up putting so many zeros that it's a number that you can't even count and you end up having a heart attack? Obviously, if your phone bill is that much money in American currency, obviously there's something wrong with the phone company, and obviously you gotta call them and say, hey, there's something wrong, why is my amount this much? But, wow, that's just crazy. One thing after another, and then this happens. Well, it happens, you know? At least she took care of it, and sucks about her losing her job. Well, aren't we all? Moving on. Our next story comes out of Florida. The good news is Edward Archbold easily beat the other contestants in a, quote, Midnight Madness roach-eating contest. That's right, roach-eating contest at Ben Siegel Reptiles in Deerfield Beach. The bad news is he collapsed and died as soon as the contest was over. Archbold of West Palm Beach was one of 30 contestants vining to win the top prize, an $850 ivory ball python. The contest proved so popular that the pet store decided to have a worm-eating preliminary. Over the course of the evening, Archbold gobbled down 60 grams of mealworms, 35 3-inch long, quote, superworms, and partial bucketfuls of giant discoid cockroaches. Quote, I guess if you really want a snake, you can eat a hell of a lot of bugs. 26-year-old Matthew Karwecki, who won the store's cricket eating contest earlier in the evening, was quoted as saying in the Miami Herald. After the contest, Archbold started vomiting and collapsed in front of the store. It will be several weeks before an autopsy reveals the exact cause of Archbold's death. Though most experts agree that eating insects isn't particularly dangerous, it could lead to a severe allergic reaction, particularly among those with the sensitivity to shellfish. An attorney for Ben Siegel said the roaches were raised in a sterile environment and were perfectly safe to eat. None of the other people in the bug eating contest reported getting sick. Archbold, 32, leaves behind 2 daughters ages 6 and 9. Okay, let's break this down. You're in a Midnight Madness contest of eating insects. Okay, they're not poisonous, they're safe to eat. Okay, what's the overall prize? An $850 ivory ball python. Those things are freaking awesome. Just overall the way they look. He probably had an allergic reaction to shellfish, which is probably the reason why he started vomiting it back up. He collapsed and he died. And he was only 32. Man, that's pretty young. 2 daughters, ages 6 and 9. Wow, that's even worse, since they're legally not of age. I wonder what they're going to do as far as child's custody goes, if they're going to give them to their mom, to their grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, I don't know who. But it sucks, doesn't it? All for a snake. But like they said, if you want to win a snake, you got to eat like one. I probably would have won it though, but I have to work on my iron stomach, needless to say. So yeah, but again, where I am, they probably wouldn't have anything like that because, well, there's not a lot of people in the population in our state, needless to say, to have anything like this, and among other things. But I'm just blabbering on. So moving on, our next story comes out of California, where an alleged burglar made it extremely easy for police to catch him. Wilbert Matheny, 48, and a registered sex offender, allegedly broke into a home wearing a global tracking device that told police his exact whereabouts. According to police, the 48-year-old convict entered the property in Salmar, Los Angeles, while a 90-year-old man and a 48-year-old woman were at home. The woman told police she saw the suspect in his distinctive salt and pepper hair running out of the house with a laptop computer. Officers investigating the crime were told the suspect's description matched a man who routinely walked a small white dog around the neighborhood. A little more digging led them to a group homes for sex offenders. Most of the residents are required by law to wear GPS tracking bracelets on their ankles. Police checked the data and, quote, lo and behold, the GPS tracker put Matheny in the victim's house on the date and at the time of the burglary. Lieutenant Paul Vernon told the Contra Costa Times. When detectives went to the group home, Matheny opened the door and with a little white dog ran out. Quote, the detectives just looked at each other and smiled. Vernon said. Due to his status as a registered sex offender, Matheny was booked on charges of residential burglary without bail. Okay, dude, you have got to be the stupidest person in the world. Number one, you're a registered sex offender. Number two, you have to wear an anklet across you have to wear a GPS tracking system by law around your ankle so they can track your movements, whether you go burglaring into somebody's house or if you go take your dog out for a walk. They can track you. Didn't think that through, did you, stupid? Obviously not. But, well, that's what you get. You're going to jail for burglary without bail. Good luck on that one. And our final story comes out of Michigan, where fire officials in Holland Township can't be entirely sure, but they suspect an apartment complex blaze that displaced dozens of people might have been started by someone trying to cook a rodent with a blowtorch. Fire Chief Jim Koshel told MLive.com that a resident had planned to eat a squirrel and was burning its fur off on a third-floor deck of the building. Somehow, flames spread to the complex's roof. In all, 8 apartments were destroyed. According to Koshel, a firefighter broke a toe fighting the blaze, but no residents were injured. Okay, dude, there is only one other place that I can think of that actually serves squirrel, and don't do it with a blowtorch, and that's in Louisiana. But this is Michigan. Use a blowtorch to burn the fur of a squirrel. It's a stupid joke. To burn off a squirrel. Yeah, and you're doing it off an apartment complex on the 3rd floor. And if the flames go up on the roof and it catches ablaze, obviously you weren't thinking and you didn't have any fire extinguisher or any fire safety equipment or anything nearby to put out the blaze while you still had the chance, but no, you're just and then and you destroyed 8 apartment complexes, right? What was it? 8 apartments. You destroyed 8 apartments, dude. They're gonna probably get you for property damage, and you're probably gonna go to jail, most likely. So, yeah, good luck with that one, pal. But, so anyways, guys, that is it for this edition of Odds and Ends, and I really hope you guys enjoy listening to those stories as much as I like reading them to you. And we will probably see you very shortly for the next edition. And like I said in my last vlog, I have my surprise coming up very shortly, and I'm still not going to say anything. You're just going to have to wait and see. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.